Hi, this is Nick George with Clouds Diamond Sharpening. We're going to show you a video on repairing an outliner, two outliners, and show you the importance of why you need your blade sharpened, and I'm going to train one of my employees to do it. So here we go. First off, you need clean running surfaces. That rust and debris it's going to slow the blade down from moving, so even if you do adjust it correctly, it's not going to move very good. You need to have a nice clean surface. And then sharpening it, don't do it on a block. It just runs these blades. It'll clean the surface, but it doesn't make it sharp. My wheel is not flat, and it has a convex pattern, and it gets them sharp. So first we're going to sharpen these up, and then we're going to adjust the clippers. Be back in a little bit. Alright, so we sharpen the rusted blades. You guys got to remember the oil to keep that rust from coming. If you notice on that little tooth right there, there's still rust, but I tried to remove as much as I can. And we're just going to hope it cuts, or I probably won't be able to sharpen this blade. But it looks like it'll cut, so we'll put them together now. So I set them close, but you should never zero gap. There's got to be a gap, because skin folds. See how it folds? It gets in between these little teeth, and you cause razor burn or rash, and then we both look bad. So if you can see, I get it really close, but there's still a little bit of gap. So when you say zero gap, I already automatically know that you probably give razor burn or rash, skin rash, the red bumps. So if you're getting those, then you're setting your blades too close. People are saying, well, wonder if it doesn't get close enough. Well, then you should use a wall shaver afterwards that lifts and cuts the hair out. It won't leave bumps or razor burn. So we got these two blades. Alright, and I'm gonna let my friend Randy, my employee, do this. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you. If you look at this little tongue here, or fork, tension arm, whatever you want to call it, and you see the line, the line from the blade pad, it already looks like this is too tight. Now you can't adjust them all like this, but I would go ahead and just back that off a little bit just to start with. So that looks a little better. See, it's not going over the flat part of the blade pad. Alright, so here we go. Here, you can put this blade on there. We got blade screws.
He didn't send any.
Hold on one second, gotta get parts. And don't send these in and expect me to be able to adjust them without a blade. They sound like that without a blade on them. Now you can make it quieter, but how am I gonna adjust it? You gotta adjust it to the blade. So here we go. Alright, you're up. So he's gonna put the blade on. then I'll try to narrate what he's doing. Okay, so he adjusts the blade all the way down, is what I mean by that, is as far as this blade will travel down, because you want it to farthest away from this tension fork. So here we go, turn it on. The sound's pretty good, turn it back on. Let's oil it. Always oil your blades. I put a little oil in those holes to keep that guide from melting. So now if you look at it, it's at the top of the cutter blade, which is good. So if it was like well, I won't even do it. If it was like that, that's too loose. And see how high it is? It's gonna pick up the back of this blade because it's pushing on the front of the blade. So we're gonna tighten it until it gets to about the middle. So there's a little gap in there. That's pretty good. Feels a little tight to me. He's gonna try it and then see what happens. See how easy it is to stop the blade? That's not the best ideal what you want. So I'll go ahead and try it. Give it as possible. I'll try to loosen a little. See how big the gap is? It doesn't need to be that big.
Okay.
But you don't want it to hit the front of the blade. You could try that. So there's still just a little bit of gap in there. And that's good. Okay, good. Still a little weak. So what I would do is I would bend. Don't do this if you don't think you can, but if you can, then great. I'd bend this, I'd take this, and I'd bend it up just a little bit so I could tighten this down and bring this ball down into the middle of the blade. Remember how to do that? So you can get a pair of needle nose. He's gonna get close to the camera here. And lift it under the front, yeah. And then just bend it back a little bit. Okay, so what that did is give it a little less tension. So now you can tighten this down a little bit and bring that ball down a little bit. But now the tension feels still a little tight, so you might want to do it a little more. So that feels real nice. So go ahead and try it. See, it's harder to stop now. Like if I put my finger on it, it still has movement. So that's pretty much good. So now we can try it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try this clipper. And it works great. You can see, took it pretty much bald. Alright, so now we'll go to the second clipper. Okay, here's the next clipper. Take it apart. Touch those or you're gonna hurt yourself, especially if it's plugged in, which it is. Okay, if you don't get power after you adjust this and your blades are clean, sometimes if you drop it, this will pop off, and you take a flathead screwdriver and you pop it back on. But this one hasn't been dropped. If you look at the lever, it looks a little high, so it'll probably need to be tightened. So I'm gonna put a little electrical tape on it just to be sure you're not gonna shock anything. There we go. Okay, so put the blade back on. There you go. Hold the blade. The first thing I notice is, go ahead and bring it up to the camera. See this cutter blade? How much gap there is over here? So what he's gonna have to do is slide this whole blade over a little bit to put it in the middle. Just slide the whole blade over. I loosen it. So you just slide the whole blade over. Because you don't want to go around the ears and then it cut the ears of your customers. That's more in the middle. Okay, so now go ahead and do what you gotta do. Feels a little weak. But you notice, see how high the cam is, or the fork? See how high it is? So it's going to be pushing on these front teeth a lot and maybe lifting up on the back, and it won't cut very good. So what he's going to have to do is loosen this up. Okay? Now take your pliers and bend it out a little bit. Okay, so now if you look at it, take it up here. See how it's sticking out of the blade? Well, that's okay because this screw is almost all the way unscrewed. So now we can screw this screw down in, and it should pop back into place. It'll pop back into place, and now it's like perfect, and it's a little below the top. There's a little gap in there. That's nice. So go ahead and put it back together, or at least put the lid back on so you don't shock yourself. And now it has a lot of power. So you need a little more. You could probably use a little more. So go ahead and pull it back a little more. turn it on. And now it's making, well, there's a screw rattling. So that's pretty good. It has a lot of power. Put it back together. I'll try it again. Because sometimes when you tighten this screw, the blade stops. The reason that happens is because you dropped it and this blade is hitting this plate here, or the fork is hitting the top of the plate because the tension is not tight enough, or you don't have it in the middle of the blade, or the blade pad down here, the blade bracket, is bent up and it pushes up against and pushes that arm too high and it hits the case. Go ahead and try it. Okay, so now we'll try this on his mustache again, his beard. There we go. We'll make a straight line. There you go. So that's it. Thanks for joining me and Randy for this wonderful adventure. We had so much fun. Enjoy your day. Bye.